We're back here in Coral Springs to see this transformation of this 80s style home, and I'm here with Derek and the Ross Brothers team. Where do we start? Last time we were here, we saw, all of the overgrowth. We saw the brick. We saw, it was a construction zone. Not that, we're still in the process of construction, but, tell us. Let's start with the driveway here.
Well, obviously, driveway was a big piece of the finished product and making sure we have something beautiful. As you can see, the brick out there is stamped concrete,
It was like 6 inches of concrete, stamped, obviously dated.
Very thick, very dated. All of those things. We're coming back with a beautiful brick paver. It's going to look absolutely phenomenal. Really excited about the look of that. It's going to change the whole way we come into the house. We're actually going to bring the beds out a little bit further.
Awesome.
And of course, we're going to do some very cool landscaping to try and camouflage all these windows that we never saw before.
Kind of reminiscing back to what this was. You had the brick on the side. You guys decided to do a skim coat, modernize the entire home.
Yeah. Well, when we put in the windows, we had to do waterproofing about 1.5 feet and 2 feet around the windows. So I was very concerned about the patchwork and how that would look, similar to the inside of the house. Right. When you do a bunch of patches, it's very hard to keep the consistency as you go around the house. So I spoke to the homeowners about it. I said, I really suggest that we do this. I don't think it's going to look right, and they went for it, and I'm really glad they did. As you can see, a uniform finish is beautiful and makes the house really look much more modern.
But looking at the windows, I didn't even know there were so many windows last time we were here.
Me either.
It's incredible. Just looking from the inside, the natural lighting, everything, that's going to change the element. But what are you envisioning as far as the landscaping in front of it? I know that you're going to obviously add some different shrubs.
Right. So we're going to add some privacy shrubs, of course.
Okay.
We're going to square it off and come out basically about 10 feet off of the house. And we're not going to block the windows per se. We're just going to dress up the house a little bit and make it look nice. But the whole idea here is not to close out the windows,
right?
To give it a bit of privacy, but also just give it a nice, clean aesthetic. Here in the middle, we're going to look to upgrade this as well, which should be nice.
Absolutely.
And then in the backyard, we're also going to do some nice landscaping around the pool, which I'll show you in a bit later.
Seeing how the entire flow of the home has been completely changed. Yeah. You guys, that was installed recently?
That just went in last week. As you know, there's some delays in getting
right.
materials. It's a custom door, but we actually were able to get it about 6 weeks after we were done with the final measurements, so that wasn't too bad.
Amazing, amazing. It's beautiful, modernizes the home, and one other thing that I know really transformed this home, and a lot of people may not even notice it, but the roof line.
Absolutely. Yes, if you recall, the door used to be about 6 feet into the house.
Right.
So when we pulled the door out, we also needed to pull some covered area out. So, that's where we put in the new trusses. Obviously, you wouldn't even know the roof line actually changed, but that's the whole new truss system that we put in there. And of course, we use the concrete tile to finish it off.
And that's the key. When I look at a home, the key to architecture and design and everything is to make it look like it's always been there and it fits. You don't want it to look like it was an added area or an addition to the home. And you guys seamlessly did that, just the way that everything looks and the appeal of it. It looks like it was meant to be there forever.
If you didn't know, you'd never know it was something.
No idea.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And one thing that I was wondering, there's so many different products that you can put on the roof.
Sure.
And there's so many different levels of importance as far as the most important aspect of a roof.
Sure.
Tell us about what you selected here for the roof tile.
We'll use the concrete tile, which is a beautiful tile. It's got about a 50-year time period on it.
Okay.
A lot of people don't know this, but clay actually lasts over 100 years, can last 200 years.
Wow.
But the most important thing with a roof is not what you see. That's the beautiful part. That keeps the sun off, keeps the house cool. But what's really important is the underlayment that's used on a roof. And if that's done correctly, obviously that's the most important part of doing a roof. And you get a lot more years out of it when it's done the right way. So we've added quite a bit of lighting to the house.
Absolutely.
A lot of hi-hats around the interior, the front facade here. We're also doing a lot of sconces here. And also here, we're doing a couple drop lights over there. It's gonna be really nice. When it's all finished, this will be beautiful. During the day and at night, which I think is just equally as important.
So this is amazing. So, just adding the sliders to this home and everything that you've done with the windows, doors, but that truly brings the inside outdoors and the entertainment experiences unlike, anything else. You walk out, you see the French pattern, and, tell us about the transformation, what went into the selection of the product and choosing the French pattern?
Well, a lot of people use travertine. A lot of people don't know this actually comes from underneath the hot springs, and that's what makes it a porous material, makes it good for using around the pool, because the water is able to absorb very quickly and not be slippery.
Right.
The other thing that's nice about travertine is that really is important is it doesn't get hot. People don't know that. Unlike brick pavers and other substances that you may use, travertine will not absorb the sun's heat, and of course, for the backyard where you're swimming, you don't want to get your feet burnt.
And that's a great point, because when people are going through product selection, you know, when you're going through as far as what you're going to put on the floor, you want to make sure it's not going to burn your feet when you're out here. Kids playing, you know, obviously having fun. That's the last thing you want to worry about.
Absolutely.
So,
two most important things are the slip coefficient and, of course, the heat absorption.
And I had no idea that it was manufactured underneath hot springs.
Yeah.
That's a great fun fact there.
Yeah. Absolutely.
One thing that is extremely noticeable is the size of this. I know last time there was maybe 1.5 feet on this side, you know, a few feet over here. You could barely walk around the pool.
You know, we've talked about this a few times, being fluid on a job and understanding where your start is and always where you end. I think it never really is that way. You know, a plan is is a starting plan, not the finishing plan. And, you know, when we looked at it and realized there was about, 4 feet over there, we said to the homeowner, you know, maybe it might be good to have 4 feet over there. And we kind of talked about it, thought it was a good idea. Obviously, the extension in the back is incredible. Gives you a lot of room now for the sun, because previously they really had no room. It was just an area over here which was covered, but they really had no place to take any sun or lay in the sun. And now they have an awesome area over there, but they also have a beautiful area here as well.
And it's all minor changes, little changes here, little changes there, but it makes massive impact.
Absolutely. Even things like, underneath here and adding 16 hi-hats, No one's thinking when they're doing a remodel of their kitchen and bathroom, how many hi-hats am I gonna have in my patio?
Especially, in the patio area especially.
But when you restucco the house and you put a new finish in the house and you come out here and you look and there was 2 fans with lights, there was no lighting here.
Right.
Then you realize, well, maybe we should put some more lights in here. And we also added, I think, about 4 sconces, 1, 2, 3, 4 sconces as well. So not only will we have lighting, but we'll have different levels of lighting, which is a big thing for me about having dimmer switches and being able to set the mood. So we did a good job of doing that over here and giving them a lot more lighting.
When we walk over here, looking at, these were just black poles. And, it's little details like that. Why not finish it? Give it the finished look. And, these guys over here, they're working on the coping right now?
Yes. Yeah, the coping actually wasn't done to my liking. I called them back and said, I need you to redo the coping.
Okay.
So they're in here redoing, making sure that all the slope is correct, to make sure that the water is going to go away from this area and away from the pool and out to the grass areas, and that's very important too.
Amazing. And it all comes down to details, because it's easy to look at a project and think it's finished, but you have to make sure that everything is done perfectly.
The end of the project is all about details. It's all about looking at it. Does this make sense? What can we do better? How can we improve this? You're here already. The electrician's here, the painters are here, the stucco guys are here. So at the end of the day, is anything that we can do to improve it while people are on site, it actually saves the homeowner money, as opposed to 3 months later going, you know what, I'd like to add this, I'd like to do this. It's a lot less expensive when we're already on site.
Without a doubt. And just looking at this project, envisioning how the homeowner is going to live here. Let's walk through that. They're going to be entertaining in the kitchen. They're going to be coming out here. Consistent flow. Their kids are going to be able to swim. This is a true entertainment home and lifestyle.
Well, if you remember from the first time, I don't know that we've ever had a bigger change than this house.
Right.
Mostly because we've done the whole interior, and also the exterior. Typically we do the exterior, we'll do the interior, but generally not both.
Right.
We've touched every piece of this house, and when we're done, it's really going to be beautiful. I'm really excited. And to see their face is great.
Absolutely.
The homeowner lives across the street, so he's here quite regularly. And to have him come over here and look at stuff and see the smile on his face and the excitement, that's what it's all about.
They must be so excited. I'm excited for them, and obviously you guys, this is such a huge accomplishment. I can't wait to see the finished project and see as far as what the full outcome is.
Give us 2 to 3 weeks, you can come by, you can see it, you go for a swim in the pool, make some hot dogs.
All right, I'm ready for it. Before you go, make sure you like this video and comment below, because we want to know what you want to know. If you're going through a home improvement project, or you have before, tell us about your experience or what questions you have, because we want to bring you the top information and professionals right here in South Florida. So stay tuned for the next episode.